Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers.
You have to understand that it's not for why all. Look who it is on the Steve Harvey show. Why all know each other like that? Mr. Snoop Dogg, did you hear what's going on right now? This is East Coast, West Coast, Frio House being raided. Look at that, Steve tried to warn you. Steve Harvey is so unbelievably finished after the feds have reportedly found a connection to Diddy. We knew Steve was quite a suspicious character, but the fact that there is now a federal investigation into him is quite something. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business, employees of that business, and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked hotel rooms and stocked them with supplies, including baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms were damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs and delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the workers. But how did it come to this? Well, we know Diddy had some very close connections to the Steve Harvey family. TMZ Family Therapy presents Diddy Issues, starring Diddy, Diddy's son, and Diddy's lady. Didn't Diddy's son date her? Yes, that cannot be true. Sounds like someone's got Diddy issues, and by someone we mean him, because they actually look pretty happy. Diddy and Lori Harvey, they're heating things up in Italy. Notice her arm on the back of his chair? Shocking for some reason, but yes, Diddy's now getting super cozy with Steve Harvey's daughter, who Diddy's son Justin used to hang out with. I don't think her and Justin were even that serious, they were just out at the club a couple of times. I think it's more interesting that Steve Harvey is there. Survey says the #1 most interesting thing.
It does make you wonder, how did Diddy get through? Many have speculated it is because Diddy has a lot of incriminating stuff on Steve Harvey.
Why haven't anybody came out defending Diddy? All these celebrity friends he have and nobody came out.
They brand. It's all about the money. They saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know that nobody in America liked that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's something about the music, clothing, movies. They're not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them. And they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. Oh, we got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking. And they're not gonna be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 tapes all over, 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor. It could be your favorite politician. Yeah, I was at the Diddy party, but I know I ain't do nothing. When you don't know somebody's taping you, when you don't know that somebody is videoing you in some kind of form of fashion, you got that alcohol, you got the in you, they're a little loose, bruh. They let down all their inhibitions. The music is pumping. He said it himself. He got it so hot in there that you gotta take your clothes off. He said that himself, bruh. So a lot of them, like what he said? I think a lot of them was being swallowed. Have you ever been swallowed? They tell off on themselves all the time, man. You just gotta listen.
But why do you think Diddy had all them hidden cameras?
Bruh, when you that powerful, you didn't get that powerful without having 1 or 2 or maybe 3 ups on somebody. Diddy always been the type of individual that wanted to have ups on the next person no matter what they was doing. Like, he always played artists against each other. He did it to Big, he did it to Craig Mack. You understand?
About this photo is they are Eskimo brothers. To make it more interesting, his son was on this trip too. They're not in these pictures, but I think they left. Diddy is dating his son's ex-girlfriend, and his son was there as well. But if his son's moved on, why not? Puff has an unbelievably close relationship with all of his sons. I don't think it's something he would do if it were a big deal you like who you like. The exception to I like who I like is accept my son's exes, so congrats, you two look really happy. While teaching his sons to respect women, Steve Harvey takes a hands-on approach when it comes to his daughters' dating lives. If a suitor doesn't meet his standards, there's no beating around the bush. He makes sure they're shown the door. In an interview with Us magazine on March 24th, the Family Feud host opened up about his strict approval process for his daughters' dates. If I spot a bad one, I get rid of them, he said. I make no bones about it, so they're very careful when they bring them around. Steve Harvey, who has 2 biological daughters, Carrie and Brandy, and 2 adopted daughters, Morgan and Lori, holds all of them to the same standard when it comes to choosing partners. According to Harvey, the first version of a person you meet isn't always the real one. You can think a person is wonderful, but everybody's wonderful in the beginning. Everybody, you always meet the mask. The mask can last for about 90 days, and then, after a while, the mask starts unraveling. I just try to wait on that period. Sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. Beyond the mask, Harvey also trusts his gut when it comes to the men his daughters bring home. But with all that vetting, it does make you wonder, how did Diddy get through? Many have speculated that it's because Diddy has a lot of incriminating stuff on Steve Harvey. Why hasn't anyone come out defending Diddy? All these celebrity friends he has, and nobody came out. They brand. It's all about the money. They saw what he did to Cassie, the kicking, the punching. They know that nobody in America likes that. These people are represented by a brand, whether it's something about music, clothing, or movies. They're not going to come out and speak on anything.
May have known about it, people who saw the surveillance video and never spoke about it. And like you said, we're in an era where when things like that happen, people speak out about it. So the fact that no one did, and that it only took this, really Cassie's lawsuit before any of this started coming out, it does kind of speak to the power that he wielded, and that the fact that nobody wanted to cross him.
In fact, the situation for Diddy is so bad right now that Jaguar Wright revealed he's had to sell freak-off tapes to finance his legal fees.
Diddy's not going to jail.
Wanna know why? Because he doesn't intend to stand trial. Why would he sell his tapes on the dark net?
Is he protecting people, or are people protecting him?
Oh no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas, and he just sold that footage.
How come you think it doesn't get leaked to the public?
The dark net?
Yeah, like...
Because of the dark coin. Most people don't even know that the dark coin exists. But that's how they're trading for all of the flesh they sell. Which is why I became so outraged last year when the twins turned 16 and he had them dressed like prostitutes and then he auctioned them off as NFTs because the NFT that he sold them to was attached to that dark coin. It was like a promissory note to sell his daughters to the highest bidder.
And you know what the worst part is? Gene Deal called this months ago, and nobody believed him.
Jay's speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that, but ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exists. You know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is gonna speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine he had every room taped and bugged and they found little bugs and little tape recorders, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy. Bruh, they just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be known. If it's on videotape.
Yeah, man, I know they gotta be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities gonna be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah. That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statements are true, they got him. They got tapes and stuff.
Gene Deal also revealed that there were people who taught him this, and it seems like they could be under the microscope as well.
His mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't, he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster. from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You gotta have principles, you gotta have morals, you gotta keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You gotta know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons, and he had a house, and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say allegedly because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro.
Who do you think Diddy is going to snitch on next? Let us know in the comments.
That has to do with him. And they're praying that they're not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being caught up in the whole mess. They're praying. Until the feds say, hey, listen here, we got you on this tape, and that girl looked pretty young, they're not going to speak up. But when they do, they won't be speaking in Diddy's favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 cameras all over his house, somebody got caught stealing the cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor, it could be your favorite politician. Yeah, I was at a Diddy party, but I know I didn't do nothing. When you don't know somebody's taping you, when you don't know that someone is recording you in some form or fashion, and you've got that alcohol in you, you get a little loose. They let down all the inhibitions the music is pumping. He said it himself, I got it so hot in there, you gotta take your clothes off, he said that himself.